What's up guys, theBolderBoulder here, and today I'm going to be doing something, well, quite a bit different from what I normally do, and that's actually review a system set. Now, someone I know got this set and they allowed me to review it, so I gladly took that opportunity. So, as you can see, here we have Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle. And this thing is really cool. And I'll go over quite a bit of details in here, so it might be a little bit of a longer video, since I've never done something like this before. So, first off, let's take a look at the ship, and then I probably get into the minifigures. And we've got quite an array of figures down here, so I will set them to the side and we'll get to the ship. So, here we have it. This thing is quite a bit bigger than I imagined it would be, to be honest, which makes it even cooler. So I'm going to do pretty much a 360 view of this model right here. And well, this is actually one of the first Star Wars sets, or system sets I suppose, that I've laid hands on in a long time, so I really like it. And right here, it's, well, mainly gray, or dark bluish gray, light gray, and black throughout the whole thing. And it's got some pretty nice features in here, which I'll get into right now. So first off, I'm going to get into the main hatch area. So right here, whenever LEGO designed this, it made this nice little handle right back here to help in opening up the canopy, I suppose. And you can, here, I'll try to get it at a better angle so you can see inside there. Alright, so in here, it's kind of a tight space, but it gets fairly open the farther back it goes. Right on here we have this clip here to hold Kylo Ren's lightsaber, I suppose, or a gun. And then right over here is an extra laser bolt. Right here is the chair for Kylo Ren himself to drive the seat. I'll just take his neat little figure right here and set him in there. And there's actually, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but there's a little piece that has a slot on it. See if it'll focus thing. And you can actually put the legs right inside there. And that's how he is secured to the seat. Right back here, it looks like there's a bit of a floor, but the neat part about it is if you reach under the model, there's actually this little switch, which you can't really see, this red switch that you can flip down. And when you flip that down, it allows this neat little stepway, this little door, that, and these silver pieces represent steps, though unfortunately it's not tall enough for a figure to actually fit through, but it's a neat little feature nonetheless. So I'm going to pull this back out and we'll look in the back of the ship. It also has a folding feature. And now here's the back of the hatch that you can flip up with this neat little switch right here. And right back here is actually where you can put Kylo Ren's lightsaber. You can take off, you can separate the hilt and the blade and stick them on those two clips right there. And there's a little bit of space back there. We can put a couple of minifigures. And then you can see some Technic beams and lift arms right there, which actually hold these really cool wings on. And those actually have the ability to flip upwards. And it's got these neat little switches back here that you can use to turn and flip them upwards. And then, moving on right back here to the very back of the ship, we've got these nice thrusters and some nice, well, I keep on saying nice because it really is, plenty of greebling and detail all across the top of the hull of the ship. And So let's go over one more thing about the wings before I move on to the minifigures. One other thing I like about these wings are these blasters. Even though they don't actually shoot anything, it's a great addition. But something else you can do for a play feature is that there are actually some little, well, there's a new style of spring brick, I guess you could say, that actually shoots these bullets, and they have this little hole right here, and you just press it, and it gets lost. Okay, and it just shoots across the room. Oh, there's the panel. I forgot to close that back up. And then on the bottom of the wings, like the top can open up, they also have these flaps, which aren't actually on the ship. But I guess I can't get onto Lego's case too much, because the most likely case was whenever they were designing this set, they only got a couple of preliminary pictures. Maybe they were finalized, but some of the pictures probably weren't absolutely finalized, which is probably why the color scheme is different too. It should be black with a red front and probably some red details here and there, but either way, it's still pretty neat. And one of the biggest things is that the wings cannot turn. They're stuck where they are. They remain in an upright position, which is a bit disappointing. But again, I don't think I can get onto Lego's case too bad, because it was a brand new ship no one's ever seen before, and then they just added on those little flaps on the bottom. It still would have been really, really cool for the wings to move out to the sides. But anyway, let's get on to the minifigures, shall we? So we'll start off with the best for the first, Kylo Ren. And thankfully, has a lot of detail on the body. No printing on the sides of the arms or the backs of the legs or anything. But regardless, the detailing is, let's see, pretty great. Not the greatest, but it's pretty great, and you can really see where his robes are. It's pretty accurate, I suppose. And the mask is nice, and oh, would you look at that? Under his mask is another mask. That way, you can actually put on his hood. I'm still kind of deciding which way I like it better, without or with the hood. Either way, they also include this little cape that goes over his shoulder, and the coolest thing out of all of it is his cross-bladed lightsaber with the guard on there. And the hilt is actually gunmetal gray, which is something I didn't expect. And the chrome paint for the mask, it really shines and makes this piece stand out a lot more than it does on just the normal minifig head. So yeah, I think I do prefer it with the helmet on. So, with that guy out of the way, let's move on to General Hux. And he's also a neat little figure. That was kind of cool. He even got in those little sideburns. That's funny. And as the mold for the hat, I like that a lot. Just the design of the hat in general looks pretty cool. Huh, general. Anyway, his blaster, it's something that Lego's had for a long time, but, well, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, yeah, just go ahead and use that, Lego. That's great. The printing is also very nice, and it's not super complicated, but then again, his uniform wasn't super detailed either. So, very nice. And here is the First Order officer, which includes a set of binoculars, and another handgun. And this one is actually a female. So throwing something a little bit different in there. Nothing huge about the printing. In fact, this is one of the really, I guess, the least amount of printing on the body as a whole of the minifigure. But it does the job, and they got that insignia on the hat really nice and crisp. So, let's go on to those pilots. These shuttle workers. These guys are pretty neat. They're both exactly the same, exact same helmet, exact same uniform. Again, nothing really impressive about their printing. In fact, it's a little bit less than the general, or the, no, I'm sorry, the general, the officer. And just pop those off, and there you go. Two different faces. That's the only differentiating factor between the two. And last but certainly least, no, I'm just kidding, not least, the First Order Stormtrooper. And this one has about the same amount of printing detail as Kylo Ren, I suppose. Yeah, it's about even. It's got printing on the torso, the hips, and the legs. So let's set Kylo Ren over here. And the First Order Stormtrooper with this shoulder pylon guard, I guess is what it's called. And also a blaster. I much prefer this blaster compared to those little stud blasters that came with other Star Wars sets. I really did not like those, to be honest. They were cool and they worked very nice, it just didn't really fit in. This works a lot better, and I'm glad they included that with this set. And the mask sculpt and print, well, not mask, but, you know, the helmet sculpt and print are, well, in my opinion, superb. Not perfect, but very good, very good. And just a basic head under there. And actually, just for reference, I actually have a classic Stormtrooper right here. And you can see major differences. And yet there are quite a few similarities. Now, looking at these masks, or helmets, I'm so used to saying masks because I talk about construction so much. Anyway, the top of the head still has that line. It's very thin on the First Order Trooper. It's a lot thicker on the original Trooper. And on the, it really just connects the eye pieces on the top, and then that connects it to that mouth mask, I suppose, gas mask or something like that. And they still have those little black lines, except they're a lot fainter on here. You really can't see it on camera. But in person, they are there. They're just really faint, and they're really light gray. And they've got black lines on the side right here. It just made it, it really did a good job of making it look sleeker and more modern. And honestly, now I think this First Order Stormtrooper is one of my favorite minifigures ever. But anyway, that's all I really have for you guys, so let's put all these guys back together. I hope you guys have enjoyed my review, and it's been a little bit of a learning experience for me. I've never really done a system set review on here before. I mean, I've done a review over one of those collectible minifigures a handful of years ago, but that's about it. So thank you guys for watching, subscribing, hitting that like button. Please be sure to check out my Facebook and Blogspot pages. All those great things. Doing all that supports me, and it helps me a lot. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye.